My name is Catherine. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, and I identify as a lesbian. I figured out that I was a lesbian because I knew I didn't want to date boys. I had a few boyfriends growing up, and I was attracted to them. It wasn't that I didn't have any kind of attraction to them. I did, but for me, it was more on an emotional level. I couldn't emotionally get to a place with boys to where I wanted to be with them. But with girls, I could. It was completely different. Growing up was difficult, kind of. Once I started realizing that I was into girls and that I liked girls, it was kind of hard growing up in a very religious and Christian family. Like, growing up wasn't that difficult until I got older. When I was younger and I didn't really know that I was into girls, it wasn't that bad. But then once I started realizing that I wanted to date girls and not boys, it got extremely difficult because I had to hide who I was from my family. From the moment I knew I was into girls, I knew I had to hide it. My dad was a pastor for my whole entire life, and my mom was very heavily into the church, and I knew that they wouldn't accept it, so I knew that I had to hide it out of fear. I didn't exactly come out to my parents. It wasn't one of those situations where I was like, hey, mom and dad, guess what? I like girls. I'm gay. I didn't have this big major coming out story. I was actually at church one Wednesday night for our youth group, and I came home to a lot of notes plastered on my front door from my mom. My mom had gone through all of my things and found these notes between me and this girl that I was seeing in high school, the first kind of girl that I was really, really into. And we had passed love notes back and forth in school, of course, because cell phones weren't really a thing back in the old days. So I didn't really get a chance to come out. I was more forced out than anything. I would tell my younger self or other girls that are going through similar situations that it gets better. I thought that the pain that I felt growing up and having to hide who I was something that I was always going to have to struggle with. I thought that my parents would never be able to accept me or love me for who I am, but it got better. Once I moved out of my parents' house and once I accepted who I was, I didn't care about anybody else accepting me for who I am. What it came down to was me accepting myself and loving myself for who I am and respecting myself for who I am, that other people started to follow. So I would probably tell myself that it gets better. It's okay to be who you are. It's okay to like girls. It's okay to like boys. It's okay to identify as a male if you're female. It's okay as long as you love yourself, and that's all that matters. A lot of gays that I know don't believe in God because of what the church says or what other people say. A lot of people think that you can't be gay and believe in God or believe in any religion for that matter. But I think that you can. I think that God wants us to love each other regardless of our race, of our sexual orientation, of our color, of anything. But I grew up being told that I'm gonna be hated if I'm gay. That God's not gonna accept me, I'm gonna go to hell, I'm gonna burn in hell. All the awful, horrible things that a lot of Christians tell people that are gay, but I don't believe that. And I think it's okay for you to believe in both God and being who you are. I think it's about love when it comes down to it. And I still am religious. I still believe in God. I believe in having a personal relationship with Him, but I don't believe in the way that my family treats me for being gay. And I believe that even though you're gay, as long as you promote love and not hate, that's what God wants for you.
You're looking right at the camera and it's perfect.
Stare into my soul. I want to turn all your daughters gay. My whole goal in life, my gay agenda, is to turn every straight girl gay. But yeah, I came home to
Pause.
garbage. This is trash.
This is the world saying this is gonna be trash.
It's because we're gay.